What is up, Ninja Nation? Welcome back to another Pitching Ninja's Filthiest Pitches of the Day. Remember, before we get to those pitches, hit that subscribe button. We have a lot of great stuff coming up after the All-Star break. I'll be headed to the game and hope to get some good interviews, so hit subscribe, and without further ado, here are my Filthiest Pitches of the Day. I'm going to start with Max Fried, who had 4 strikeouts in 7 innings. He had this nasty curveball, and here's an overlay of his fastball and curveball, and you can see how much drop that curveball gets. Mitch Keller had 6 strikeouts in 6 innings, thanks to his curveball and slider. Marlins pitching prospect and one of the top pitching prospects in the game, Max Meyer, made his debut. He had 5 Ks in 5 1/3 innings. He did give up some runs, but he had these wicked sliders and overpowering fastball. Here's an overlay of his 96-mile-an-hour fastball and 92-mile-an-hour slider. His slider was considered one of the best sliders in the entire draft when he was picked, and he's definitely a guy to keep an eye on. Ranger Suarez had these nasty curveballs. Marcus Stroman had his cutter and sinker mix working. He had 6 strikeouts in 4 1/3 innings. He was up against Taijuan Walker, who had this nasty slider, and I love this story about how Walker got his slider, because he got it from my YouTube channel.
Is that he got the new grip from YouTube, from the Pitching Ninja on YouTube. He looked at Carlos Rodon, how he throws that slider.
Just another reason why you should hit subscribe and join Ninja Nation. Jamison Tyone had 5 strikeouts in 6 one-run innings, thanks to his fastball, his slider, and his curveball. Justin Verlander was absolutely dominant. He had 10 strikeouts in 6 innings. He passed Bob Gibson on the all-time strikeout leaderboard. He had a filthy mix of changeups and sliders and, of course, his fastball. And his fastball touched 99 miles an hour. All this at age 39. Just overpowering stuff. He lowered his ERA on the season to 1.89. My filthiest starter of the day, though, was Max Scherzer. Scherzer had a mix of changeups, sliders, fastballs. He had 11 strikeouts in 6 1/3 innings. And he had the ripper behind the plate, and the ripper was bloodthirsty. Here he is ejecting Ian Happ for a pitch that probably was off the plate, and he called it a strike, stabbing the invisible player in the right-handed batter's box. And I love Max as this argument's going on, going, that's a f***ing strike. Max has no chill, but that's what we like about Max. Now on to my filthiest relievers. Drew Smith had this nasty changeup and slider. Jhoan Duran had this 100-mile-an-hour fastball and 87-mile-an-hour curveball, and I overlaid them so you can see how filthy that is. Scott Effross K'd the side on this filth. Matt Festa had this nasty stuff. Andres Munoz hit 103 on this ball that was fouled off. And he also gave up this slow tapper for an infield hit. This goes out to all you let the pitcher supply the power guys out there. And lastly, Adam Ottavino had this 96-mile-an-hour two-seamer and this 81-mile-an-hour slider that I overlaid, and you can see how ridiculous this is. My man throws frisbees. And now, my Pitching Ninja moment of zen. It's a mechanics comparison. Home plate umpire John Lipka signaling that the ball hit the bat versus Diddy throwing money. Identical.